be honest. Every single one of us has watched a survival movie and thought, yeah, if my plane crashed on a tropical island, I'd basically be Bear Grylls mixed with Iron Man. I'd build a hammock, sip coconut water, and get a great tan. Well, I hate to break it to your interaction hero, but if you actually got stranded on a desert island tomorrow, your Hollywood survival skills would most likely get you killed before sunset. The internet and movies have filled our heads with absolute nonsense. They tell you to immediately start hunting wild boars with a spear, or build a mansion out of mud and leaves like those primitive building channels on TikTok. In reality, do that in your first 3 hours, and you will pass out from heat stroke before you even find a single drop of water. In real-world survival, everything is governed by the rule of threes. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, but only 3 hours without shelter in extreme conditions. And most importantly, 3 seconds of panic is all it takes to make a fatal mistake. Today, we are going to look at exactly how to survive the critical first 24 hours on a desert island using actual biological science and logic, not movie magic. Forget about making a volleyball your best friend. We're talking about staying alive. Phase 1, hours 1-3. Hour 1. You just washed ashore. You're wet, you're exhausted, and your brain is screaming. Your first instinct is probably to run into the jungle to find a path, or sit on the sand and cry. Don't do either. Take a breath. Look around. The very first thing you need to do, scientifically speaking, is to move everything you have above the high tide mark. Many stranded survivors make the mistake of setting up camp right next to the water because the sand is flat and beautiful. But ocean tides are a brutal trap. By 2 a.m., the tide can rise significantly, washing away your clothes, your gear, and dragging you out into the dark ocean currents while you're asleep. Look at the beach. See where the wet sand ends? See where debris, seaweed, or sea foam are piled up? That's the high water mark. Move at least 20 to 30 meters past that point, right where the jungle vegetation begins. Once you are safe from the water, your second task is to protect your skin. People see a tropical island and think paradise. Biologists see it as a giant solar oven. Tropical sunburn isn't just uncomfortable. A severe sunburn causes blistering, damages your skin's ability to regulate temperature, and accelerates dehydration. Keep your clothes on, cover your head, and step into the shade. Do not try to be a hero. Try to be an organism that doesn't evaporate. Phase 2, hours 4-8. By hour 4, the adrenaline has worn off, and a terrifying sensation kicks in: thirst. You are surrounded by millions of gallons of water, yet you have absolutely nothing to drink. There is an old, famous saying, water, water, everywhere, nor any drop to drink. And you better take that literally. Never, under any circumstances, drink seawater. It sounds obvious, but extreme thirst does crazy things to the human brain. Seawater has a salt concentration 3 times higher than human blood. To filter out that massive amount of salt, your kidneys have to produce more urine than the amount of seawater you actually drank. Essentially, drinking seawater is like opening a drain plug inside your body. It speeds up dehydration, causes painful hallucinations, and shuts down your kidneys within hours. But wait, you say, the island has coconuts. I'll just drink coconut water. Yes, coconuts are a literal lifesaver, but they are also a biological booby trap. If you find green, young coconuts, the water inside is amazing. But if you open old, brown coconuts and drink too much of the rich milk inside, you are in big trouble. Old coconut milk contains high amounts of lauric acid and magnesium, which act as a powerful laxative. Think about it. You are already dehydrated, and now you have severe diarrhea. That is a fast-track ticket to a very unglamorous death. Drink coconut water in moderation and look for green ones. Instead of relying on coconuts, look for freshwater streams where the jungle meets the beach, or dig a hole in the sand further inland until you hit the water table. The sand acts as a natural filter, but you'll still want to catch rainwater using large palm leaves if a tropical storm rolls in. Phase 3, hours 9-12. As the sun begins to drop, it's hour 9. Time to build a shelter. And let's debunk another massive myth. You do not need a log cabin with a front door. You have a few hours of daylight left, and your energy levels are low. If you spend your remaining energy dragging heavy logs around, your body temperature will spike, you'll sweat out precious fluids, and you'll be too exhausted to survive the night. Your goal for the first night is simple: an A-frame lean-to. Find a sturdy fallen tree trunk or a low fork in a tree. Prop long branches against it at an angle to create a sloped wall, and then layer it thick. And I mean thick, with palm fronds and banana leaves. The leaves act like shingles on a roof, protecting you from tropical downpours and cold night winds. But here's the most important part that people forget. Do not sleep directly on the sand or dirt. The tropical ground at night becomes a highway for bugs, venomous centipedes, and biting ants. Furthermore, the damp earth will slowly suck the heat right out of your body, causing mild hypothermia even in a warm climate. Pile a thick layer of dry palm leaves, at least 6 inches deep, inside your shelter to create a mattress. It keeps you dry, it keeps you warm, and it puts a barrier between you and things that want to bite you while you sleep. Phase 4 hours 13:24. Hour 13. The sun is gone, and darkness on a desert island is absolute. There are no city lights, no screens. Just you, the stars, and a symphony of terrifying noises coming from the jungle. This is where the psychological battle begins. Your brain will trick you into thinking every rustle in the leaves is a tiger or a monster. But while there are no tigers, there are real creatures you need to watch out for. Meet the coconut crab. These things are the largest land-living arthropods in the world, looking like a cross between a spider and a nightmare. Their claws possess more crushing force than the bite of most predatory animals. They can easily snap open a hard coconut, or your fingers. They aren't actively hunting humans, but they are scavengers. If you tried to fish earlier and left fish guts or leftover coconut meat right outside your shelter, these giant crabs will smell it. You do not want to wake up at 3 a.m. with 3 prehistoric-looking monsters crawling over your legs looking for a snack. Keep your camp clean, burn your waste, and keep a small fire going. You survived the first 24 hours. You see, nature isn't trying to actively murder you, but it definitely does not care about you. It follows strict biological and physical laws. Survival isn't about being the strongest, fighting sharks, or looking cool like an action movie star. It's about humility. It's about conserving your energy, understanding your biological needs, and cooperating with the environment rather than trying to conquer it. If you ever find yourself on a real desert island, remember, stay clothed, stay above the tide, be careful with the coconuts, and keep your camp clean. Thanks for watching today's survival breakdown. If you learned something new, or if this script just saved you from future coconut-induced diarrhea, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and keep your inner action hero on the couch. See ya!